Many of you probably wonder what it's like to work with a full concierge luxury real estate agent from beginning to end. So I thought it would be helpful to you when choosing which agent to work with if I shared an experience I recently had with a client who reached out to me on my channel that wanted to relocate to the Las Vegas area from Southern California. I'll share everything from the time they reached out to me all the way until we closed on the property, all while they were still living in San Diego. The first step after reaching out to me on YouTube is I will reach back out to you and set up our initial conversation, which could be a phone call, but I really do prefer to do it on Zoom so that we can actually meet face to face and get to know each other a little better that way. On this call, I do a brief interview to kind of find out what your goals are. I go over what your budget is, what your wants and needs are, and also what date you would actually like to become a homeowner in Las Vegas. We go over very specific things on this call, such as how many bedrooms you need, how many bathrooms, what kind of square footage, if you'd like to live in a guard-gated or a non-guard-gated community, a community with an HOA or one without. And I also like to try to discuss the different areas of town in Las Vegas to see if you know which side of town fits your lifestyle best. If not, no need to worry, because this is where I like to use my expertise and knowledge in living in Las Vegas for over the past 50 years to help you decide which area of town fits your lifestyle the best. Because most of my relocation clients don't know much about living in Las Vegas, I like to give them as much knowledge as possible before they even arrive here. And I do this through sharing some of my past community videos, or I will even customize videos to your needs that will help give you as much knowledge about the area before you come to town to look for homes with me. Once we have our conversation and decide that we are a good fit for each other, the next step would be for me to send you a couple forms for you to sign. They're super simple, but they are definitely necessary to move forward to the next step. The first form is called a duties owed. This form expresses my fiduciary responsibility to you and shows that I will always have your financial best interest in mind throughout the entire transaction process. The second form is called a buyer-broker's agreement. This form states that you will be hiring me as your consultant and you will be exclusively working with me for a specific period of time. It also spells out all of my fees and details that I charge throughout the transaction process. Keep in mind, a lot of these fees we do try to have the sellers pay through their commissions, but with all of the new lawsuits that have come out with the NAR, we do have to have our clients sign these things so that they're aware that the fees do exist. At this time, I will also have you obtain a pre-approval letter from your lender. If you don't have a lender, no worries at all, because I have a list of lenders that you can interview where you can obtain one from. This letter is very important because what it does is it shows me the amount that you're approved for, which gives me the exact budget of home that we can shop for. The next step would be to get you set up on an MLS search. And if new builds is something you're interested in, that's where I get to work on my end, searching for all of the neighborhoods that fit your needs and wants, and also looking for any deals that there might be out there with these new build communities, because there are some pre-constructed or standing inventory homes that you can take advantage of. So I start getting to work on that, but I also send you the properties on the MLS search. This is probably the most tedious part for both of us, because we do have to weed through all of the properties, both the good and the bad, but it is where I really get to know your likes and dislikes of interior design and floor plan options, which is very helpful because I get every property that you get, and I look through them and I try to find like those little gems that I think you're going to like. but maybe you happen to miss that email or that new listing or the price reduction. And if I think it's something that would appeal to you, I send it an additional time and kind of bring it to your attention and say, hey, did you happen to see this new listing at 123 Apple Street? And then once we compile some properties that you actually do like, if you're unable to come to town to preview them, I start previewing them for you, which a lot of times for my relocation clients, this is a big step because you are away working, continuing your life. So I like to preview them. So if there is something that is worth you coming down to see, this is where I can say, hey, this property looks really good. I think you should come down and look at it. Some of the very specific things I do in these property previews for you are things like videotaping the drive into the community. So you can see those surrounding streets that you're going to be driving on when you come home at the end of your day. And then I like to take a video of the actual neighborhood that the home is in as well. Once I get to the property, if you're available for a FaceTime call, it can be very beneficial, but I will also take just a video for you that I can send to you if you're not available. But it is very helpful if you can be present on a FaceTime call, because you can have me turn left, right, look behind, what's behind that door. Very specific request can be done at that time, and it makes your preview a little more personable and personalized. Some of my clients don't even come into town to see properties until after previewing several properties with me on video and then settling on a very select few that they'd like to see in person before making their final decision. Once you decide to come to Vegas, we go ahead and schedule a day that's convenient for you to go look at homes. In most cases, if time permits, I like you to take the day before we go home shopping to drive around to the different communities that you think you're most interested in. This helps you see what the community is actually like. I give you recommendations of different coffee shops and grocery stores to visit, and I highly recommend you even sit down and have lunch or coffee in those areas, because it gives you a better idea of how that community actually works and feels before buying a home in that community. I've had a lot of buyers who do this and decide against a specific area, or that their mind is completely changed and they love a specific area. So I find this to be very helpful when relocating. If time doesn't permit, we can do this together on the day that we are shopping for homes, but it does cut down on the amount of homes we can actually view during that day. If you're flying into town and won't have access to a car, I can pick you up from the airport, and then we can have a short stop at my office before getting our day started, or we could get straight into it. Remember, in my opinion, this visit is all about you and figuring out what side of town best fits your needs, what neighborhood best fits your lifestyle, and also what homes are going to best fit your wants, needs, and lifestyle. I would also like to point out that I'm a straight shooter, and I point out the good, bad, and the ugly of properties when necessary, because the last thing I want you to do is purchase a home that I knew backed up to a really loud, busy street, and you tell me weeks after purchasing that home that you realized this and you didn't like that about your new home. I want you to be able to make the best and most informed decision before purchasing your home, and I'm here to help you do that. Before we continue, my name is Lisa Lopez, your trusted real estate consultant. I post videos weekly that share ways to live your luxury life in a simplified way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified each time I drop a new video. Okay, so once we find that perfect property, it's time to go ahead and write your offers. A lot of my relocation clients at this time go ahead and return home, and everything is done via DocuSign, so it's super easy and super convenient. Once we have an accepted offer, we open escrow. You can wire your funds into escrow, and I take care of the rest from this point on. There are a lot of things that happen once you do open escrow, and if you're buying a resale home, you have a short due diligence period where you're going to need to get things done like inspections. You may want extra measurements, extra videos, anything you need. I'm your boots on the ground, and I'm here to take care of those things for you. So I will hire your inspector, I will show up to your inspection, I'll have your inspector do a brief video description of all of his findings once he completes the inspection that I can forward to you. But anything you need to complete your due diligence, I will be here for you, and you do not have to be present. You can still be at home in your hometown, completing your life, selling your other home, or preparing for your move, whatever it is. You don't have to worry about the transaction here in Las Vegas. If you are purchasing a new build home, it's a little bit different. There are different walkthroughs. So if you're going to build your home, the only thing that I would say you might want to be here for would be your design appointment, because those are very personalized items and selections. So I highly recommend you come back for that appointment. But I've sat through design center appointments and helped people pick their finishes while they are living afar. So that's definitely an option as well. But I will attend your inspections for your frame walk. I will attend your inspections for your blue tape walk. I will even accept your keys for you if necessary. One thing I do want to point out that while we do these 2 inspections with the builder, for a new construction home, the frame walk and the blue tape walk, I highly recommend that you hire a third-party inspector who will have a non-biased opinion in the entire inspection process. I've done some videos on this, and I'll have my editors link them here. But I highly recommend that you have this done because they do have a non-biased eye and a very well-trained eye in finding problems with the home. And these do happen in new construction, so it is one of the reasons why I highly recommend it. Another thing I want to point out is that if you would like to be present for any one of these inspections but can't make it to town, I can always do a FaceTime call with you so you can be there and hear everything that everyone has to say, and I can show you things from my eyes perspective while I'm at the actual property inspection. As you can see, I understand that there are a lot of moving parts when moving from another state, and I'm here to make that process as seamless and easy as possible for you. So do you remember what the very first step is in my relocation process? Is it A, have you find a lender and obtain a pre-approval letter? B, set a date for you to come to Las Vegas to visit? C, schedule a Zoom or phone call for a consultation? Or D, send you some documents to sign? Let me know your answers in the comments below. Once we make it through the entire transaction process and you're ready to close on your new home, hopefully at this point we've become friends, because this is the best part of my job. I love meeting new people who can use my assistance and knowledge to move to the city that I not only love but grew up in and have watched grow over the past 50 years. I'm so appreciative of each and every one of my clients, and the relationship building is my favorite part of what I do. So to celebrate, I like to take each one of my clients out to a celebratory dinner, and of course I personally curate a gift basket for each one of you, and hopefully this is the beginning to a very long-lasting relationship to come. If you are looking to move to the Las Vegas or Henderson area and you think we might be a good fit, make sure you reach out to me. All of my information is in the description below. And don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified the next time I drop a video. And for more videos about Las Vegas and Henderson, check out my playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.